Greetings and welcome to the Reparenting Daily podcast. In this podcast, we'll dive deep into reparenting, exploring all of the tools and resources that you'll need to help you along your journey. This podcast is divided into 3 sections. The first is a daily reading. The second is a discussion of the reading followed by suggested journal prompts. And the last section is a peaceful meditation for closing. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from whenever and wherever you're joining us today. I'm so glad that you're here as we continue on this journey of self-expansion and growth. If this is your first time, welcome. Before we dive in, a quick reminder. Like, share, and subscribe to this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Your support here helps spread the word and grow this community of self-reparenting. Now for a few updates. First, I'm excited to introduce our Patreon community, where for a small monthly fee, you can join us for 3 weekly reparenting support meetings. Sundays, we have a guided meditation for emotional grounding. On Tuesdays, we have a book club discussion for deeper discussions and growth. And on Thursdays, we have open topic conversations for real-time support on any topics that may come up. You can find all of the details about what's included in this community by going to the Reparenting Daily website and checking out the community tab. In addition, we now have a WhatsApp support group, a global network of fellow travelers available anytime you need encouragement, guidance, or simple connection. This is just one of the many ways we're building a strong, supportive space for your reparenting journey. The next announcement is that I've just released my first few books. The first is the Reparenting Daily Journal, a structured 365-day guide to help you work through reparenting day by day. Starting in 2025, each month focuses on a key theme with weekly sub-themes. The Reparenting Daily podcast episodes align with the journal, making it an interactive and immersive experience to help you stay focused and ensure real progress this year. Now for the next announcement, I'm thrilled to introduce Fairy Tales for Reparenting Daily, a collection of 3 books inspired by Jungian analysis, mythology, philosophy, psychology, and most importantly, the work of Marie-Louise von Franz. These short, simple stories are designed to help you reconnect with your inner child and experience healing through storytelling. What makes these books unique? Well, at the end of each story, there's a deep dive analysis exploring its themes, explored by journal prompts to help you reflect on how these lessons relate to your personal journey. All of these books are now available on Amazon, so go ahead and take a look and support this project. Reparenting is a journey of growth, iterative change, and continuous improvement. Much like nurturing the bonsai tree, it requires patience, care, consistency, and attention. Thanks for being here and supporting this work, and for committing on your journey of self-expansion. Now, without further ado, let's dive into today's practice. Today's reading is from the blog Zen Habits. The article is entitled Creating Impeccable Structure for Your Life by Leo Babatura. This is a reminder we're in April, and the theme for this month is structure and discipline. We're in week 1, which is April 1st to the 7th, and the theme of this first week of April is the importance of structure. Creating impeccable structure for your life. There's a strange contradiction in most of our lives. We deeply feel the messiness of our lives. We feel it in all areas of our lives, which stresses us out and causes us to shut down, feel overwhelmed, run to distractions and comfort. It creates tremendous uncertainty for us. But we resist sticking to structure and routine. We want to have a great order to our lives, but when it comes down to actually following it, we struggle. It feels too rigid, too constricting, so we immediately toss the plan aside and start free-forming it, answering messages and going to distractions and reading or watching things online. This creates even more uncertainty, not being able to stick to structure. This contradiction might not be universal, but it's present for a lot of people. I would guess that the majority of people reading this feel a struggle between these 2 things. Now, I don't think you can get control and order over everything in your life. Life is inherently messy and uncertain, and all attempts to make it ordered and certain are fundamentally futile. It's often more helpful and practical to mindfully with the uncertainty. It's often more helpful to practice mindfully with the uncertainty rather than trying to control it. That said, this is not an all or nothing choice. We can create structure and practice with uncertainty. We can even create structure for our uncertainty practice. And we can learn to be unattached to the structure. So what if we have to do a day or week without it? We can be perfectly okay. 2 reasons to create structure. There are 2 major effects that we feel from this struggle with structure and messiness. Number 1, the messiness in our lives causes us to be messy. When we have a mess around us, it's hard to be impeccable. It's hard to focus. It's hard to really put our best effort into our meaningful work. We are greatly affected by everything around us and by any kind of messiness in our lives. That doesn't mean we should strive for perfection, but instead that we should recognize that the effects of this messiness on us. And number 2, the lack of structure creates a lack of trust stability. When our lives are completely unstructured and messy, it's hard for others to trust us. If you were going into business with someone whose office and life were a huge mess versus someone whose office and life seemed to be in impeccable order, all other things being equal, who would you choose? This messiness is felt by our spouses and our partners, felt by our friends and other loved ones, felt by our colleagues and bosses, felt by our clients, even if they can't completely see it. And we feel it ourselves, and it erodes our trust in ourselves. None of this is a reason to freak out or beat yourself up. It's just bringing awareness to the effects of a lack of structure, and maybe resolving to create a more impeccable structure with our time. Thank you, and that's the reading for today. Welcome back. Now, this article, Creating Impeccable Structure for Your Life, perfectly aligns with this month's theme of developing structure and discipline. For those of us reparenting ourselves, the contradiction he outlines hits deep. We crave order because our inner child is overwhelmed by chaos, yet we rebel against it because structure was often weaponized against us. Maybe structure once meant punishment, criticism, or forced conformity. But in reparenting, we get to redefine it, not as rigid control, but as a loving container. The messiness of our lives doesn't mean we failed. It simply means our inner child is asking for safety, and structure is how we offer it. This week's focus on the importance of structure is about reclaiming routine as a tool of self-trust. As Leo explains, messiness erodes our belief in ourselves, and trust is the foundation of any secure parent-child relationship, including the one we're building with ourselves. Creating and maintaining structure isn't about being perfect. It's about being trustworthy. Every time we show up for ourselves, wake up with intention, follow through on a plan, or recover from a deviation with self-kindness, we're sending the message, I've got you. Structure becomes our daily act of reparenting. As we move on to the journal prompts today, number 1, when I think of structure or routine, what emotional reactions come up for me? Are they rooted in past experiences or in my current life? Number 2, how might I redefine structure as an act of love and protection towards myself rather than punishment or control? And number 3, what's one small area of my life where I could create a supportive, loving routine, and how would my inner child benefit from that? Thanks for being here today, guys. As always, please do take care of yourself and be well. Welcome back. Now, this is the third and final section of the daily podcast. This is your silent meditation. Please go ahead and find a space where you can be comfortable and undisturbed, where you can relax and spend some time with yourself for this 10-minute silent meditation. You can choose to be sitting, standing, lying down, or in whatever position makes you comfortable today. Take a moment to simply be with yourself. Focus on your breath and gently connect with each part of your body. If thoughts arise, don't let them overwhelm you. Just observe them without attachment. Imagine them as leaves drifting down atop a river, passing by without needing your engagement. Stay present, grounded, and open to this moment, no matter what time you are listening and practicing this meditation. Namaste.